video, well, probably won't end up short, but I just went fishing. Not to the spot where I go luring, because it's still, as you'll see, it's crazy windy. Still, I don't know what's going on. It's just day after day after day of really high winds. Anyway, so just doing a bit of beach fishing in a spot that I haven't fished in a long time, but I thought I'd give it a try. I wasn't very, I'll tell you right up front, so I'm not going to waste your time. You can just fast forward through it if you want. I wasn't very successful. I wasn't successful. I didn't catch a fish. I did lose bait, so there was definitely predators out there, but yeah, I couldn't hook onto them, or I couldn't keep them on the hook anyway. So yeah, but after the little fishing vid, I'm going to talk about the Mangrove Monster, which people are probably going to say, oh, you're full of shit, you know. But no, it's a true story. It happened. It's my only real encounter with something that was really weird and scary. So I'll let you watch the bit of fishing first, and then I'll talk about the Mangrove Monster.
Yo,
See ya.
hope you can hear me. It's really windy again. It's not as windy as it has been, but it's still really windy. This is yeah, you can see what it is. It's a big jetty, and there's quite a few fish that hang out along that jetty. And I'm going to try and catch one or two. Now, I didn't bring any dead bait. I didn't try and get any bait along the way, so I'll try and get some bait now. So I'll go and do that now. Bit of success. What I've got here are northern herring. These are greenbacks. There are pretty much two types. There are spotted, which are a bigger, hardier one, and there's these little greenbacks. But there's a few fair sized ones in there, so if there's anything out there that is hungry, I shouldn't have a problem. I have no idea what species is going to be around there. I'm hoping finger mark, that would be nice. Maybe a flathead. Not the right place for a flathead to hang out, like a bit of depth, but they do. You find them there. More than likely I'll catch a catfish. People here really hate catfish. They reckon they're garbage, but probably because they're so disgusting. They're covered in slime, they poo themselves all over you, but the actual flesh itself, once you eat them, they do get a bit sharky, a bit ammonia to them when they get to a certain size. But if you clean them properly, they're just like mackerel. I've actually fed it to locals and told them it was mackerel, and they had no idea. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start fishing.
yeah, there was definitely something on that, and it took my bait, so I'll put another one on and see how it goes. Meantime, might just do a little bit of luring with the old octopus lure. That was successful a couple of days ago with that little barrow, so yeah, give another try. Put another colour, a bit flashier, see how that goes. I don't think I'll worry about the luring, there are hungry fish out there. I was just about to go luring and bang, something did it. So, here we go again. Always happens to me. You know, the action's on, and you go, no, I'll hold the rod because the action's on and I want to be able to just let the line go and the fish go. And you hold it and nothing happens. As soon as I put it down, something will happen. No, I'll pick up the luring rod again, see if that entices them. I'm going to go to a smaller hook. I think whatever's taking my bait is getting scared off by that hook and just ripping it off.
whatever they are, they're pretty small because I can feel them nipping at the bait, biting chunks off it, stealing it as I'm retrieving it, so I'm not going to worry about it. See you later.
Okay, so you've watched the fishing. Now I'll talk about the Mangrove Monster. Now, what happened was that, well, I'll start off by talking about this whole cryptid fad that's on at the moment, especially like with Sasquatch, Bigfoot. There's one particular channel that I used to be subscribed to, who was focused on hunting and in a particular area of North America. And what happened was that his views, once he started talking about Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and like story after story, video after video about Bigfoot and Sasquatch and stories and his encounters and stories he'd been told, his views skyrocketed. Like he gets so many views now, and it's almost entirely about people wanting to hear about Sasquatch stories. Now, what it seemed like to me, because I had a look at it, I went in depth, like really far back into his videos to see how many hits he was getting, how many views he was getting, and how many subscribers he had when he wasn't talking about Sasquatch. And he wasn't getting that great, his numbers weren't that crap. I mean, mine are crap, but you know, his numbers weren't, you know, anything to write home about. And then he did a Sasquatch story, and guess what? People got really interested. He got a lot of views, and I think, you know, I think that he realised, hey, guess what? If I want to get a load of views, you know, and a heap more subscribers, I just got to keep talking about Sasquatch. And that's what he's been doing since. And because of that, I unsubscribed, because it was pretty clear what he was up to. Because, number one, he runs a business, okay? The sort of advertising that he gets when he does those Sasquatch stories is just through the roof. Plus, not only does he run a business, but he sells an app, all right? And he plugs that a lot, and yeah, I think he pretty much just latched on to, hey, Sasquatch is a big deal. People want to hear about it. People want to watch Sasquatch videos. People want to watch me sitting here talking about what someone told me that they experienced. Yeah, I'm never going to do that, because yeah, I lost faith in him. He seems like a really nice guy, but yeah, I smell a rat. So I haven't named him, but you know, if you're into the hunting scene and hunting videos, you probably you might know who I'm talking about. But anyway, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. So yeah, keep on watching him if you want. I don't care. But anyway, let's get on to my story. What happened was that I moved up here to North Queensland 15 years ago, and I started work at a particular place, and a couple of years in, I sort of, you know, developed friendships and that. It was sort of really hard in the beginning, because they're very yeah, they can be very reserved, a real small town attitude. You know, they don't like outsiders, especially from down south. You know, they got a real at that time, and I don't know about now, but they had a lot of them had a real chip on their shoulder. You know, oh, you guys from the big cities down south, blah, 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 sort of attitude, and I was like, what? You know, I'm just a person. And I actually spent a lot of time in the country, so you know. But anyway, so one of the guys that I befriended was he probably doesn't even know I've got a YouTube channel. Peter, who was a painter, spray painter. It was an engineering facility, and we made certain things, and he painted them. Anyway, I got friendly with him, and I bought a boat, a little V-nose punt. That was a really nice little fishing boat. It's really good for the little creeks and inlets and everything around here. And he said, "Oh yeah, we should take it out." He didn't have a boat at the time. "Oh yeah, we should take it out. I'll take you fishing in some of the good spots." And I was, being new to the area, yeah, cool. And we've got to do it at night. Yeah, sweet. The fishing's a lot better at night, and it is. So no worries. So out we go, and it was actually weeknight, so we had to work the next morning. So out we go, and there was this one spot that we got to, and he said, "This is a really good spot. I fish here all the time." When he's got a boat or with someone with a boat. So we anchor up, anchor out at the bow, and we tie the stern up to some mangrove. So we're laterally to the flow of the tide. Anyway, we're fishing away, and about, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's hard to. It was a fair few years ago. We hear this God Almighty roar, and I've never heard. It was clearly an animal doing it. I don't know what it was. Okay. I have no idea what it was, and Peter didn't know what it was, and he grew up in this area. Anyway, there's this roar, and I'm like, "What is that?" And he's like, "I have no idea. I don't know what that is." It was a roar, not like a big cat roar. Just this. It was loud, and it wasn't far away. We could tell, and it's roaring away, and just like intermittently every 30 seconds or something, this thing roars. Anyway, we're like, "What the hell is that?" Then, because where we were moored, it was a sort of a little inlet of it into a creek, leading to a creek, and like a tiny little bay sort of set up. And anyway, so we're sort of at the mouth of it. And anyway, so this roar is going, and we can actually tell what direction it's coming from. Next thing you know, we hear crash, snap. This thing is in the mangroves, whatever it was in the mangroves, and it was breaking mangroves. Now, the mangroves here, I don't know if they're the same everywhere around the world, but the mangroves here are really, really tough trees. The branches, the roots, they're not easy to break. Even the dead ones are really, really hard and really, really strong. It's not an easy tree, or the branches, the roots, any of it to break. This thing was breaking. We could hear it snapping and breaking these branches and roots, whatever it was doing. So I've got a really powerful torch, and I'm shining it in there to try and see what the hell this thing was. And lo and behold, guess what comes back to us? A reflection of two red eyes, and they were far apart. Now, when I think of red eyes that are far apart, I'm thinking a crocodile, okay? And if you see, my intro has got a crocodile with the red eyes, right? Well, there's only one problem with it being a crocodile, and the problem is that, first of all, a crocodile of that size would not be stupid enough to get itself entangled in mangroves. It couldn't even get into the mangroves, okay? They don't climb. Crocodiles don't climb. To get into that sort of, interwoven tangle of mangroves, first of all, why would it do it? And how the hell would it even get there in the first? The only way you could get a crocodile into that tangle of mangroves is if you dropped it in aerially by a helicopter or something. Plus, this thing was off the ground. Those eyes were not on the floor. They were up, off the ground, a fair way up. We're talking, I don't know, it was sort of hard to tell, but at least a man's height up off the floor. These red eyes that were just, reflecting back at us. And this thing was clearly not very far away. I'm probably thinking it was probably about 70 metres, possibly less, probably about 70 metres away, possibly 60 metres. These eyes, and it kept on hollering, doing that roar. It was loud, like it was really loud, and spine chilling, a spine chilling roar, like a wild beast. I don't know what it was. You know, I've been out in the Australian bush a fair bit. I know what animals sound like. It wasn't a cow. It wasn't a pig. It wasn't a deer. It wasn't a goat. It wasn't, you know, any of those things. This roar I have never heard from any other animal, and I need to do some research as, you know, animal sounds, you know, on Google or whatever to try and hear something that was similar. But I've not heard anything like that before or since. It was one of the few times that I can honestly say that I was actually frightened, scared, and so was Peter. We were actually shitting ourselves so much, in fact, like this thing was getting closer. It was busting mangroves and roaring and carrying on, you know, and it was above the ground. It wasn't a crocodile. I have no idea what this thing was, and we decided we didn't want to find out what it was because it was coming towards us. Those eyes were straight at us. When you see the reflection of eyes from an animal, you're not going to see it reflect back of its retinas unless it's looking straight at you. This thing was looking straight at us the whole time. We were shitting ourselves. It was up anchor, get the hell out of there. And I can tell you right now, I didn't get much sleep for we had a couple of hours of sleep before we went to work. I didn't sleep. And when we got to work, all we were just like, the monster. You know, people just saying, it's a crocodile, they roar. This was not a crocodile, okay? It was in the mangroves, in the tangle of mangroves, and it was busting them, and it was off the ground. I have no idea what this thing was. I'm not going to speculate on what it was, but this happened, all right? You're not going to hear any more Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yowie, whatever stories from me, because that's the only really, really bizarre event that's ever happened to me. But anyway, I wanted to get it off my chest because it's been on my mind for a very, very long time, and I've never, after that initial, when we came back and told people at work, you know, I've never really spoken to anyone about it. But there you go. So, and I'm interested to know if anyone else in tropical North Queensland has encountered anything like that, because it was really, really frightening, like really frightening, really weird, and it's something that I'll never forget. So I don't know, but hopefully someone else out there can you know, recount or reply about a similar thing that they've experienced. But this was really weird, and it was definitely no other animal that I'm aware of, that I know of, in that exists in the area. No, it was weird. It was really, really frightening and weird. It wasn't a crocodile. I've seen a lot of crocodiles, okay, in the wild and in captivity, and yeah, this was, and it wasn't, you know, crocodiles, you know, are low to the ground. This thing was not low to the ground, and it was in the mangroves and breaking them, and yeah, so I'm going to stop prattling on about it because I probably said enough about it. So till next time, see you later.